I'm not feeling super well, so I'm going to go kind of quickly over some of the things that we're going to talk about, and then the tech team is going to get into some of the details of the products and the infrastructure that we've got coming. So one of the interesting things that I want to announce is we have a new chairman. Like we've already talked about, he's known as one of the most interesting men in the world. So he is European. He lives in Europe and the United States and in South America. He has built some really incredible tech companies in the past, and I'm incredibly excited that he's going to join us. He essentially is being registered in the commercial registry in Geneva. That's going to happen this week. When that's done, when all the legals are done, then we're going to announce it. He's already recorded a pretty cool video that we're going to have coming out. There's also some media articles in some of the mainstream financial press about him. But I think everybody will be really excited about somebody of this quality joining Fluid Finance. So the next thing is our advisors. Previously, some advisors have worked with me and they've all been great. They've been really amazing. They've been helping explain the story. The model that I want to use for Fluid Finance is different than what I had previously. It's basically where everybody rolls up their sleeves and everybody's a worker. So everybody that you see now on the website who's staying with us are actually working advisors. We only have 3 of them at the moment. They're all amazing. They all join us regularly. They're all paid by us. They're not just people who are promoting our project. They bring expertise in specific areas. So we've got Damien Horner, who, as you probably all know, is the co-founder of Real Vision and helps with our brand narrative and how we take our story to the world. He and Real Vision Creative Studios are going to be recording 12 to 15 videos over the coming year, kind of explaining Fluid Finance to the world. We have Jessica Walker, who is crypto's coolest interviewer. And we have Anna Tutova, who helps with investor relations and public relations. So we have another guy who's joining. We're going to announce it in detail this coming week. He is from one of our partners. He's one of the leaders in building digital banking globally. So I'm incredibly excited that he is going to join as well. We'll announce that next week. So now I'm going to turn it over to the tech team to talk about some of the details, because we are a product-led company. That's how we should be judged. And soon you will see our product, widely dispersed amongst friends, family, and people all over the world. So how about Nikolai or Igor? Can you talk us through the integration CeFi side of things? And then Nick can talk about DeFi. And then Amadeo is going to talk about what's coming up on our roadmap.
Let me begin probably. So the biggest achievement this week is that we finally were able to test payments in all the currencies that we provide now. These include GBP, CHF, Euro, and USD, of course. Most of those were SWIFT payments, but Euro through Euro. And we finally received some money on the GBP accounts as well. This doesn't sound like too much work, but actually we've done a lot of fixes and changes for the CeFi part, which is a lot more complex than we might think. Nevertheless, it's all working now, and at least we're able to manage all the currencies and do payments in these currencies as well. This week, we also done a lot of the changes and fixes for the minor stuff. You have seen the updates in the chats, but a lot of more updates coming very soon. We've done a lot of the changes for the authentication, for payments, as I've already mentioned. We fixed a lot of the things from the penetration test that we had. And this is all be coming in soon. Will be delivered to the public environments. We also changed our environments a lot as well. In the background, we're still working on, we want to provide as much safer usage for our crypto funds for our users as we can, as well as at the same time complying to all the regulations that our regulator try to ask from us. And we're doing the crypto side of anti-money laundering as well. We are working with the biggest players on the market right now, which include chain analysis, elliptic, and Oracle Science, to provide the best possible solution for the on-chain verification of money, so that we will not be using stolen funds or any of illicit activity on the crypto side as well. Of course, we do already integrate with ML providers on the CeFi part, but now the DeFi part is also coming in. And that's a very short rundown. Maybe someone else can extend on that. Or then I will just give it to Nick.
Yeah, I'll go next. So last week, first of all, for the web app, we had one of the community members reach out. He's a professional security tester, and he took a closer look at our web app. And luckily, he didn't find any big issues. He did notice us of some smaller things that we are going to clean up now. But it was super cool to see that the community is actively involved and helping us out with a lot of stuff. And yeah, we are still looking for developers. And if you have any skills regarding any of the IT and development stuff, then please reach out to us. There's a lot to do if we want to truly replace the banks. And yeah, we definitely want you on board. Regarding the stablecoin, we are now in the final phase of testing. What we're currently doing is we do one last round where we use CeFi real money and stablecoin on testnet to make sure everything is going as smoothly as possible. Right now, we are just waiting for some CeFi transactions to settle, which unfortunately does take some time. But then we will give it one last run through, full circle from real money to stablecoin and back, and all the in-betweens. And then we will be ready for mainnet deployment and real live production deployments. And for that, again, the admins of the Telegram and Discord channels have started to pick out some community members who have been especially supportive and helpful to fluid.ch. And these will be among the first who will be able to create a real live bank account with fluid.ch and be among the first to mint our new stablecoin. So if you know anybody who fits that bill, you can reach out to the admins and suggest somebody, hopefully other than yourself. But if you think you deserve it, then feel free to suggest yourself. And yeah, so we're excited to be at this stage now, where it's actually the really final steps before we will be fully live. And after that, Amadeo is going to continue.
Yes, thanks, Igor and Nick. Like, it's amazing. We have moved a lot of ground in a short period of time, and I feel we're only accelerating with delivering on different points. But as Nick and Igor both said, it's a lot of work to follow everything that's going on. I would like everybody to go to roadmap.fluid.ch. I can actually quickly share my screen, and basically, I think you can see my screen now, right? Yeah. Yeah, so if you go to roadmap.fluid.ch, you can actually see all the different points we're working on, and you can actually comment on everything. We received over 80 comments of different people that have different ideas and different things they want us to implement. So please keep on doing that, because it really, really helps us to improve and to add new points to our longer term roadmap in our backlog or in our RDs. You can see here everything that is launched. You can see our backlog. You can see the ideas that we have. So, please keep on commenting here, and we will look at everybody's comments, and we will respond to that. Ravi is now looking into that, and I will also look into that personally as well. If you have some deeper thoughts, some deeper thinking about how we can tackle and do a vampire attack, or basically create a better banking system, please go to the forum, and we can have more deeper conversations about, like, how does the DAO work, or what are the plans for mass market adoption, and how we want to do that. So yeah, I would encourage everybody to go to the forum, to check the roadmap, and to be engaged in the project. And the more you get engaged, the more likely that you can get one of these beta accounts that we'll be slowly rolling out. We will start now, probably, as Nick said, with approximately 10 people. And we will be increasing that over time once we feel more confident about the infrastructure. Also, one thing is that we will get some new pools and some increased liquidity live next week, actually, with our own stablecoin that's going live. and that will more information on that will follow shortly. So that means that we actually have our own stablecoin, and we will be able to trade that against Fluid or against ETH, and we will slowly roll out pools on Curve, Sushi, and other platforms as well. So yeah, that's a very short, quick AMA. If anybody has questions, please ask them in the chat, and I would love to answer them and to engage with the community. Okay, so no questions for now, but maybe Nikolai or anybody else has something cool to say as well.
Yeah, I just want to add that Nick mentioned we are hiring, and I want to say we are hiring.
Hey, Nikolai, I think you're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We are hiring DevOps. We are hiring senior Golang developers. We are hiring Flutter developers, and we are hiring automation QA engineer. If you want to become a cool automation QA engineer, please join our team. There are a lot of things to automate and to test here. Yeah. And of course, Solidity developer, because we are a blockchain company.
Yeah, and it's really a revolution. You know, revolutions are never like easy. So if you want to fight and if you want to work, join the revolution. We're really trying to change something in the world. And as Nikolai said, we're looking for other Golang developers, for other Solidity developers, DevOps engineers, maybe big data engineers. Oh, something I didn't talk about yet is also I'm talking with our community member Easy. We're actively engaging in ways to increase liquidity or maybe generate some bots that will increase trading and liquidity for Fluid and for our stablecoin as well. Yeah, great question from Kingston Chrome, and this is something me and Nick were very actively fighting for. We do not want to have any capability to freeze. That's not what we want. It's kind of sad that if you actually go into the contracts of USDC or of USDT, very quickly you can actually spot. You don't even have to be a developer for that. Go to the contracts. I can drop the link to the contracts later, and you can see like a freeze function. Well, that's something we will not be implementing. That goes against our ethos, and then we will not be implementing that. Also, something cool. Actually, at 6 o'clock, two PhD students, Natalie and Gabriel, coming over, and we will discuss a research topic we were kicking off. There was already a research paper released about the stablecoin trilemma, and we will actually do a more deeper research of like, how do all these different stablecoins compare with each other? Some stablecoins that are centralized, they have like freeze functions. We will not be having that. And we will also try to put some of our functionalities more in the DAO. So we push the control of our core functionality to the edges of a network. So that's what we were discussing, and we will have more in-depth paper about that coming out soon.
Great. One question from me. There's a question about the DBD airdrop or progress of the DAO in general. Is there any update to that?
Yeah, so we're working hard now with economics design from Lisa. There's a lot of modeling being done right now. And as you know, like I'm quite involved in the Curve DAO, and it's very hard to model like what will be the inflation rate, what will be the way we deploy this token. You can see now with the Curve having amazing performance over the last couple of weeks that the Curve wars are being played out pretty well. And that's something we also want to engineer our token. So we do that in a similar way. The way that I was thinking about it is to basically release our product. We want to be a product first company, and we will release our stablecoin and the minting and the redemption of the stablecoin. And after that, we will be looking at ways how to boost adoption. And of course, also people that have used the product might get a retroactive airdrop. And that's something we we want to think about deeply, and we want to model it out correctly before making any final promises or statements on that.
I see a question regarding the US citizens, and this is a very good question. We talked about this before, about those FDIC insured accounts, and they will be coming in future. But at this point in time, it's not yet decided when this will be our top priority right now. We are already in talks and even potentially starting to integrate the banking partner for the US citizens and for company accounts as well, but it's not coming in the coming months, so it will take quite some time for us to do. But we will give you more updates on that in future. But US will definitely be in place, and US people will definitely be able to use all the fluid.ch functionality, but maybe a little bit later. I just wanted to add, Elsa, that we are in final steps of agreements with our partners regarding the cards that a lot of the community asked for. We are discussing whichever cards we will actually do, and the blocker that we had before with Apple Pay is now actually also resolved. So Apple Pay should be coming middle of next year as well. We'll start with the probably virtual cards and Google Pay only, but Apple Pay and physical cards should be coming later on as well. That's it.
Nice. Someone else is also asking, how soon until the Euro stable coin will come after the USD one?
Yeah, I can take that one. Last week or the week before, we refactored some of our code. Before it was very static, and it was supposed to mint this one stablecoin, the first one, but now we made it very modular. So now it's basically only some configuration on the backend side, and we need to deploy a new set of smart contracts and a node that monitors the smart contracts and the CeFi treasury accounts, and then we can roll out the stablecoin in any of the supported currencies we have. We will do that slowly, one by one, probably, so that both marketing can catch up and make sure that it gets the exposure it deserves, as well as the liquidity, that it's not spread too thin. We are going to do it a bit slowly until other people come in and provide liquidity, and then we will roll out the next one. So from a tech point of view, as soon as we now launch the first one on mainnet, we are basically ready to deploy all of them. And yeah, it's going to be a rollout that will go from the biggest coins to the smaller ones over the next months.
Sounds good. One more question from me. Will the US be able to partake in fluid.ch?
Yeah, well, already answered that, of course, but a little bit later on, not right now.
So yeah, for the accounts, for FDIC insured accounts, like Igor said, we've actually signed with our partner in the United States, Bond, out of San Francisco. So we'll be able to offer individuals and institutions FDIC insured US banking, which is really amazing. The issue that we're running into as a company is developers. So we're desperately looking for developers. I feel badly because Igor and Nikolai and Nick are working, day and night, weekends to get all this done. And we have more things. We have more things coming. We're looking at expanding into other territories. One of them that is going to come early next year is the UAE. But it's a question of implementation because all of this takes a fair bit of time. And then for the fluid tokens, those are also being registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. We're also registering them in Singapore and Japan. So US citizens will be able to hold the tokens once it's registered, and then they become registered shareholders. And then for using the accounts, it's a question of when we can do it in the development. That's why Amadeo has created a cool roadmap. But a lot of this, we are a really growing company. So if people can code in Golang or Solidity, call us. Okay, if there's no more questions, that's great. Thanks everybody for your time. We have some important stuff coming next week. So we have stuff about our chairman, another advisor. We've got some products going live, we've got some pools. So some great things happening, and we'll let you know more next week.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. Thank you.
In the meantime, check out the roadmap and also